Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly Presents. With me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308, and we are here with the ASOC Prod Cat and the Peanut Gallery. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Let me do the ad read real quick before we get into today's tale of woe and injury. Today's pre-rolls brought to you by the Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, 105 West Main Street on the downtown mall. Above the brick, Suite 200, a great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds. A bud, and the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. Also, they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research, by which I mean I was personally very high when I did my biased research. You can find them on Instagram at The Hidden Leaf, where you can also find our other sponsors, Firehouse, where there's smoke, there's fire, spelled with a Z. And Kush Gang Snacks, purveyors of fine edibles and drinkables, findable at KG Snacks 434 on Instagram. And today, from Kush Gang Snacks, to help with the injury, I've got a couple of bottles of drip. Tart. Flavorful. Need a chaser in between. Woo-ha. Tastes good. But dang, that's a lot of flavor.
They took you to Flavor Town?
Yeah, it did. Took me all the way to the far side of Flavor Town and back again. So, now, I'm going to start by politely asking how you guys are. So that I can then talk about how I am. How are you guys? Good.
I don't know why,
So,
but befuddled by the banner that I was greeted with when I opened up Twitch.
What banner was that? Hi, Just Me, Crystal. What banner was that?
Watch non-stop Roblox action on Twitch and earn exclusive rewards. And my response is, like, hell no. I'm not in those files, so I'm not interested.
I'm not a kid or a kitty diddler. There's no reason for me to be on Roblox.
Basically.
Happy Saturday, Just Me, Crystal. Yeah. Well, all right. So, let me tell you how I'm doing. I don't know if you guys knew, but after when the ice was all over the place, as it still is down here, I wore regular work boots for a little while because the ice is dangerous in cowgirl boots.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to people, this is, a terrible idea because this will make my back hurt. But I'll be okay. I'll weather through it, In just a few days, it can't be that bad. Oh, yes, it can. Yes, it really can be that bad. Wednesday night into Thursday, and all of Thursday, I was in screaming pain from my sciatica, and it had started making my leg feel numb.
Mm.
But I was starting to take care of it. I was, heating it and sitting with it right and all of that. Now, so on my way home on Thursday night, because one of the things that helped my sciatica was, thank you, Just Me Crystal, was being in the car, especially with the seat warmer, pardon me, on.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would hit just the right spot to relax things, and my back was in a nice, happy position. So, being in the car was good for my back. On my way home, just south of Charlottesville, you know how freezing temperatures and snow and, moisture in the tarmac can expand and contract and break up the road surface?
Yeah.
And leave large chunks of road surface missing?
Yeah.
That then turn into potholes, and if they're big enough, they become tire busters?
Especially if a snowplow catches that crumbled stuff and scoops it out.
Yeah. That's the one.
Oh, no.
And it was dark out as I was driving home, so I did not see it until I was already on it and couldn't get away from it without jerking the wheel way too hard. And I heard that pow, and I was like, oh, fudge. Now, I know that tires these days are made to keep going if you keep driving. It takes an extreme amount of blowout for an inflated tire that's moving to deflate.
Mm-hmm.
So I drove most of the way home. I got it to a gas station convenience store that's near home that I knew was still open. And as soon as the vehicle stopped moving to pull in, the tire deflated. So I went a few yards on a deflated tire. Not bad. Didn't mess up the rim.
Very good.
Yeah. And then I found out that I have no lug wrench.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
I've got the car jacked up and the spare tire out. Donut. Spare tire out. And I'm like, oh, no lug wrench. How am I gonna... The convenience store didn't sell them. Guy was like, man, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're gonna do. Wait. Thanks, guy. So I called Little Bear and her boyfriend, Big Man Dan, and they came out and helped me. They helped me get the donut on, and then followed me home to make sure I got home safe.
Well, that was good.
So yesterday morning, I get up early. I get up good and early, and I call the shop, the Subaru dealership, and I'm like, and they They had time. I made it in. That drive, that 45-minute hour drive on that donut was nerve-wracking, though. Every
Oh, yeah.
turn felt like the donut was going to collapse on me. So, I get there, get the new tire. My tire was still under warranty. So,
Hooray.
I get the new tire put on, mounted, balanced, out of there for $50. Right? Like, oh my God, okay, things are looking better.
Mm-hmm.
I get back home in time to do, with enough time for my DJ stream, going, okay, this, DJ stream is how I'm going to work the rest of the pain out of my back. Even though I'm still in quite a lot of pain from my back and my leg. And I'm like, okay, but I got to take the dog out before I do that. So I go to take the dog out. I take a step. And still inside the house, mind you, when this happens. Take a step. And because my leg was numb, I didn't feel that I was putting my foot down sideways.
Oh, no.
And the whole ankle rolls.
Yep.
I hear that sickening, loud, just pop. That, crunch. Oh. And I hit the ground. And the pain is immediate. And the dog thinks I'm trying to play. Because I'm on the ground. So his nose is right up in my face. He's just... And all I can is just not now, puppy. Not now. I love you, but not right now. Just leave me be for a second, puppy. And after a minute or so, the pain lessened a little. I got up, I took the dog out, came back in, took my boot off, took my sock off, and I went to wrap it, and I got a look at the far side of my ankle, and it was the size of a baseball. My ankle had swollen up to the size of a baseball.
Oh, baby.
Like that. I mean, it was... whew. So I wrapped it up, put my socks back on, and shoved my foot in my boot. Went on about DJing my set. And I tried to dance as much as I could. I did. Because I needed to move my butt to get the sciatica pain to go away. And I looked hilarious trying to dance on one foot. Trying to move the side of my butt that's on the side where I hurt my ankle.
Yeah.
It's all my left side. Well, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I've been favoring my left after I hurt my ankle, my right sciatica is starting to pinch up a little. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Of course. So, through all of this, I recently developed a crush on someone and was determined to ask them out. And, after a lot of this, I would have given up and stayed home and been like, it's not safe out there. But I was determined. I was like, no, I don't ask people out often. When I, and there's a reason I don't, and we'll get to that in a second. But when I make this, when I'm here and I make this decision, and Charlottesville is funny like this, like, if you like someone and you don't just get to it immediately, Charlottesville will be like, nah. Oh, sorry, somebody else asked them out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was moving faster than I was comfortable with to begin with. All of these things were going on. I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I head back into town, and I catch up with them, and I ask them out. And it wasn't that they said no. It was the surprise with which they said no. It was the surprise at me asking them out that was like, huh. That's, okay. And, okay, so right now, I want to say, it is fine to ask someone out and for them to say no. That is valid. No one owes me a date. Right? And the reason the person said no is because they're trying to only limit their social interactions to one day a week, one thing a week. And so they're, for me, though, from my end, it took me a lot of courage to get there. And so now it's like, well, maybe I just don't want to be asking people out. If it takes this much courage and this much effort and this much is going to go wrong just so that somebody's going to tell me no, maybe I need to be not. Maybe the lesson here, maybe the takeaway is I just shouldn't. So it was, it has, it's been, that was a rough 48 hours.
Sounds more like it was a rough year packed into 48 hours.
Yeah. What I want to talk about here on this is, one of the things I want to talk about here is that, no one owes me saying yes. And that it is okay to be turned down. It's a little rough when it happens in public, but it's okay to be turned down in public too. It's, Charlottesville is a tough dating market in general, but I think I'm not sure if that's true with the rest of the world. I know that's what it feels like in Charlottesville. And I give a lot of advice about how you know, you've got to be good with yourself before you try to date. You know, before you ask someone out, you've got to be okay if they say no. You've got to be like, it's got to be okay to be alone. And so I'm really trying to internalize that advice I've given to other people. You know, it is okay. It is okay to be alone.
How dare you take the wind out of my sails?
What do you mean?
I was so ready and gearing up for making a series of jokes about all your physical and discomfort trauma, and then you had to make it emotional. That means I can't do anything. How dare you?
Oh, no,
How dare you?
You can still go after all of it. It's safe. I dare because I had to be okay. I had to get through that pretty quick. Because I realized, like, I don't want it to be a thing. Like, I don't want to feel a certain kind of way about it. And I have friends going through similar things, and they're having a very hard time dealing with their... And it's like, and I've been saying all these things to them, and it's like, well, Trevor, you counsel people for this. Time to listen to yourself.
Yes. Practicing what you preach sometimes is far more difficult than expected at first.
Yeah. Yeah, it
That's
really
like
is.
for other people, not for me.
Right, exactly. I will say, I think I feel bad because I might have made them feel uncomfortable when I asked them. That might, and if it made them uncomfortable, then I definitely feel bad. You know, it's not worth, even if they'd said yes, it wouldn't be worth asking if it's going to make them feel uncomfortable in a space with me. And I think having that realization is also what makes me want to be like, maybe I just shouldn't be asking people out. You know? If somebody likes me enough to want to go out with me, they'll ask me out. But otherwise, it's not worth making someone uncomfortable by asking them. I think that's where I'm at.
Understandable.
It'd be easy to feel like I'm owed some sort of relationship somehow, somewhere along the lines. Because, you know, we came up in a time when, there's someone for everybody. You'll find someone. Fairy tale endings.
True.
But even now that's sort of, the fallacy of that has sort of come to light, there's still a lot of social pressure. There's still a lot of it's depicted it's you see it everywhere.
Especially this month.
Oh yeah, then there's that. Forgot about that for a moment. Although I've never been into Valentine's Day. When I was a kid, I was,
Mm.
and then I started asking people out, and started getting told no, and stopped being into Valentine's Day because it felt like a cruel joke.
Mm-hmm.
You know Valentine's Day isn't real when that kid who isn't your bully but really hates you still gives you a Valentine's Day card in elementary school because they have to give one to everyone. It
Yeah.
yeah. I don't thank you, Crystal. And then of course, through a lot of my younger adult life, I was usually alone on Valentine's Day, so it felt pretty cruel. So it still feels like it's cruel to people who aren't in a relationship, and it feels exploitative of those who are.
Mm.
It feels like a very not good sort of holiday.
Then it also punishes introverts.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Most holidays punish introverts.
This is true.
We should have an international Go the F Away Day. Or an international Leave Me the F Alone Day.
We do.
What's that?
It's scheduled every day that ends in Y.
Okay. Fair enough.
So let's go back to the jokes about the physical pain. I feel like I went through that so fast, we missed some golden comedy opportunities there.
Well, for starters, I give you credit for making the ultimate compression sock out of your socks and boots.
Oh, yeah. I've done that before,
I am not surprised because I've done it too.
So, I was living in Ithaca, New York. Great stories always start with, I was living in Ithaca. I was working at this really high-end restaurant, and they had their walk-in freezer was outside of, and fridge were outside of the restaurant. They were on the back patio, so you had to go out of the restaurant, up a ramp, or stairs. They did have stairs, and into the walk-in. And I went to get cheese one night. Big wheel of cheese. And it... there was about as much ice on the ground that night up there as there is here. However, up there, that much ice on the ground really wasn't that big a deal. It was kind of normal.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up into the walk-in, I grabbed this great big wheel of cheese, and I start headed back down. And as I'm headed down the ramp, my foot
Oh no.
out from under me, 1 foot out, 1 foot back. And I go horizontal and just go straight down. And the wheel of cheese, I land, well, my foot lands first and just bends out straight. And then I land on it. I hear that crunch. Then the cheese lands on my chest. And I hear the popping noise. So I pull myself up, get the cheese inside, I strap my boot on as tight as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Hobble through as much of the rest of my shift as I can. Actually, I made it maybe another half hour, and they were like, no. No. And we're also not
you
letting
look too dangerous.
Yeah, we're not letting you walk home. Someone's going to drive you home. You just sit in the office staying off of that foot. So, yeah, I've done that before. I've used my socks and boots as compression before.
Mm-hmm. Ow, love. Ow. That is horrible.
What did he just show you?
Oh, no, he put it in chat for both of us to see.
Oh, I'm terrified. You were persecuted by the government. The ice was a pain while you were trying to imitate Christy Gnome and taking dog. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, that is good. That is, yeah. That's, wow. Just, wow.
Sorry.
I'm not sure if you should be. I'm kind of both ways about that. So, how have you guys been, though, for real? I know. I hate. Oh, yeah. I bet you do, Crystal. Just Be Crystal says I hate black ice and have PTSD from it. She had a fall and broke her shoulder blade.
Ow!
Yep.
No.
Shoulder blade, or was it a different shoulder bone? But yeah, she's in pretty. Oof. All of us hope you get better soon, love.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple different people that I talked to that had been in and out of the ER this week, that all this past week and then some, the ER visits in this area for slips and falls on the ice regardless were just up so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's been... And it's the fact that it's the ice, that it's been just this sheet of unforgiving ice.
Yeah.
You know? I appreciate the fact that actually none of this has been ice related for me.
That is good. That really is good.
The only way that this has been related to the ice is incidentally. It's only because I wore the boots to be able to walk on the ice. It's only because the ice busted up the pavement. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Humorous. Oh, gosh. Oh, honey, that's even worse. I'm sorry.
Does that mean we
Oh.
should stop trying to make you laugh or try to make you laugh harder?
That's
Luckily-
a funny bone to get broken.
Luckily, the humerus is not in the general central core of the body, so laughter doesn't generally make it hurt worse. I don't think.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, what you do for a broken funny bone. Do you stop laughing or try to laugh more? How do you fix a funny bone?
So the pothole caused you to get a Dolly Parton hairdo.
A blowout?
It gave you a blowout.
That's better than where that could have gone.
I'm not exactly catching where it could have gone, so
It wouldn't be Dolly Parton, because if it was a Dolly Parton dude, he'd have ended up with 2 black eyes.
Oh, hey now.
Kaboom!
oh,
Blum-ba-dum.
No, we're just gonna keep moving, actually. I'm just gonna let that go. I don't wanna. Yeah, I'm sure pain is happening no matter what, Crystal. It's, woof. Rough
Yes.
one.
Hmm.
It was, my tire had a really big party. And it was a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
See? There's another safe one.
clearance sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Clearance sale. I am trying to be good because my brain is just going down all of the terrible alternatives and
Right.
wanting to spit them out because I've had no tea today.
Aha. Yeah. That'll do it. That will definitely do it.
I am pet sitting this weekend and I got here. And when I left yesterday, I stopped and made sure that I got milk and some snacks and I was ready to go, and then I got here and I unpacked my bag after hiking down the hill. And I had no tea in my bag.
That is rough. That's a bummer.
So when I went to work this morning, I picked up a box of tea. But between getting back here and now, I've only been able to have 1 cup.
And that is not enough tea.
No.
Oh, pardon me.
Bright side,
Right.
between he can't. He's a necromancer.
Look at these 2 cute kids cuddling.
Very cute. Very cute, and right now far cuter than one of the cats that I'm watching because they're not trying to steal my cup. I'm serious. I'm sitting there. I have my tea. I am cuddled up to the heater because I'm also chilled because coming down the hill today, the wind was blowing and it was getting under every bit of clothing. So
I believe
I'm
that.
shivering. I have my cup of tea. There's a dog on the couch, so I can't sit there. There's another dog on the other part of the couch, so I can't sit there. And I can't move them because they're both geriatric dogs with issues, and they're just like, you're on the couch, I'm not bothering you. And this
Right.
cat comes up and starts doing the, oh, I want you to pet me. I want you to pet me. I'm going to bite your elbow. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm gonna drink my tea. Oh, you're drinking tea? I'm gonna drink your tea too. No, you're not.
No, you're not. These guys are pretty good about not trying to get into my food or drink.
That is good.
Occasionally, especially when I'm having fish or steak
Yeah.
or chicken, Gandalf will come up and like get right up on my plate and stare intently, just waiting for me to share. You're
a
gonna
sucker.
share, right?
And I know it.
Right.
Uh-huh. Because cats are Jedi.
They are. And yeah, of course I'm gonna share, because... Actually, no, not of course. This is actually a new thing for me. For the longest time... Longest time.
Sorry.
No, that's why I gave you the time, was because I knew I couldn't keep going on that. Like, I couldn't carry that tune. So, I did not share my food with any pets. I made a very clear delineation and demarcation between my food and their food.
Yeah.
And I would, if I had food I was going to share, I would put it in their dish specifically, and it would be like, okay, that's how I'm sharing my food. Once it hits that dish, it's yours. But then with Deadpan Dog and the times, this was a while back, this was years ago now, but I lost power and heat in the middle of the winter for a couple of days, and did not have, only thing that kept me warm enough to stay alive was Deadpan Dog. And at that point, that he had literally saved my life, I was like, well, damn, I guess I can share my food with you.
I understand that one.
And, once the seal was broken and I started getting my own cats, having my own pets that were... It was like, you know what? And also, like, because Deadpan Dog is still here when I got the cats, when I started getting cats, it was like, they'd see me sharing with him and be like, okay, where's ours?
Yep.
It's like, I can't do that. I can't just share with him and not them. So that delineation has been broken now. Although I don't share near as much food with him as he thinks I should.
Oh, yeah. No.
He's allergic to chicken and onions. So there's a lot of food that I just can't. I can't.
All dogs should not have onions. So
Yes.
that's reasonable. Being allergic to chicken, that's hard for most pet foods.
Yeah, it is.
You say all dogs should not have onions. I counter with corgis. They're about as close to as omnivorous as a dog gets.
Really?
With most dogs, onions cause a reaction that allows them to paint the walls. So they should not have onions. Corgis, they are cute little. They're cute little devil dogs, and that's probably why the onions don't affect them the same way.
Garbage disposals.
Sort of.
They're cute billy goats.
Well, regular billy goats are usually cute, but they just stink to high heaven.
You know, I wouldn't mind having a corgi. I kind of like them.
If you get one like my sister's, they somehow manage to levitate.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe that some corgis come with special powers.
Of course,
Right. But what is a data dog?
good question.
They never explained it. Ever.
I think they did when they first said it, but it went by so quick that it had
No.
absolutely.
Nope. Because I've rewatched that episode several times, all trying to find out. I think what they say is it's classified. What is a data dog?
That is unfair.
It's classified. There are so many questions that I have about what a data dog is. And Cowboy Bebop, you need to answer those questions. And if you did it in the live action, it doesn't count.
Fair.
Well, do we have anything in the news that we feel like talking about this week?
So yeah, it's pretty exactly what I thought when I go to the wiki. It's a genetically modified dog capable of holding large amounts of information and transferring the information that way.
So it's a fuzzy flash drive?
Pretty much.
How do you access it?
Pull one ear, pet the snout 3 times, and scratch the rump just right.
There's an output port on the backside.
Oh.
No, it says nothing about the access. It's just
saying. That still barely gives an explanation. It's a dog
So I'm
designed
looking
to
at-
transport large amounts of information.
So it's the cuter fuzzy version of Johnny Mnemonic.
Is it though?
Well, personally, I think he's probably fuzzier and cuter than Keanu Reeves at that moment.
No,
Yes.
that's not what I mean. I mean, Johnny Mnemonic was a human flash drive, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're assuming that the dog has a flash drive, but it might not be. It could be in its DNA. It could be in some, or something like that, some internal mechanism, some biological internal mechanism that can be coded.
Could be. Very well could be.
Which would mean
Which would
that
make-
it's not a flash drive, it's...
A hard drive.
Or, well, it's... it's ROM. It's read-only memory.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So, like,
that would
I mean,
also mean...
it would make sense to make it like Johnny Mnemonic. But
I mean, yes.
we don't know.
But
we
if
don't know.
if you've got the entire critter is enhanced in whatever oddball way so that it all holds data, then you lose the inherent danger of having a cybernetic courier, i.e., you remove the head, you've got the data, and you don't have to deal with the critter.
Right.
If everything can hold the data, then you have to keep everything intact or you lose your data.
Right.
So that's a safety thing for the carrier of the information. And then in a dog form, that makes it inherently more protected because, well, it's really hard to argue with all those teeth sometimes.
Yeah, but corgis aren't particularly... You know, if you really wanted to do that, put it in a chihuahua.
Well, part of the thing is, I'm assuming that they chose corgis because they're supposedly an ultra-intelligent breed.
Mm-hmm. Which would be why not the chihuahua.
Right. However, if you're
Because it is
storing...
kind of the opposite.
if you're storing the information in its DNA or diffused throughout its body, not necessarily in its mind, then it doesn't matter how smart the dog is.
True.
I'm going to assume that it had something to do with being encoded in the brain itself.
That would make sense.
Either way, picking out one cardboard colored dog from another cardboard colored dog and getting bit in the process would definitely make it harder to figure out which one you're going after.
That is true, too. Pardon me. Pardon me. Pardon me. All right. So, stuff in the news to talk about. Because I know there is.
Mm.
Do we want to talk about it, though, is the question, really.
The Winter Olympics?
It started yesterday.
Are there still holes in the ice skating rink? In the ice in the ice skating rink?
Now we know why we sent them with the Olympic athletes. To fill in the hole.
We needed the agents there because we needed extra ice.
To fix the rink. Right.
Right.
I appreciate that idea a lot better than the...
Yeah. So, yeah, it is just a little too warm in Milan, Italy.
Yes.
For the Olympics, for the Winter Olympics to be going on there. They're having to do a lot to keep it cold. To keep everything cold enough to keep the Olympics going.
I heard that the opening ceremonies were a little bit underwhelming.
Oh, yeah? How so? I didn't really listen.
That's just straight up what I heard, just word for word. Of course,
I don't know about...
That is, they spent all their time prepping for Carnival, which is also this weekend.
That would make sense.
I didn't hear about the opening ceremony specifically. I did hear that one, JD Vance attended, and when he took his seat or whatever, the crowd booed him.
Yay.
And two, that it, despite every other news place and all of the foreign reporters accurately showing the crowd booing, supposedly NBC has been editing the video so that the sound of the boos is less apparent or missing entirely from the film clips they've been showing.
Of course they have.
I'm not sure he would understand that they were booing at him. He probably assumed it was a foreign language.
Oh, yeah. Although, okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and say J.D. Vance isn't stupid. He's just immoral and unethical. And a
Immoral,
weaselly little
unethical,
toad.
and pushed for a bill regarding your birth certificate having to match your ID to vote when his doesn't.
Right. Right. Like I said.
Because he's done changed his name like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And pretended to be from everywhere. He's like from Ohio.
Man, okay. I tell ya.
Claimed to be from West Virginia for writing the Hillbilly Elegy.
Elegy, yep. I wanted this guy to be more something. More interesting, more dynamic, more something. With a name like J.D. Vance. And I mean, he is an unapologetic villain. Like, he does not mind being the villain and just being like, yep. They were, those protesters were asking for it. Yep. DHS and ICE are doing a good thing in Minnesota. Like, he doesn't mind. Which does fit with what image I had of him. But, like, I wanted him to be more slick, more charismatic, more sleazy, more... I didn't...
All the slick was absorbed for the sofa cushions.
Yeah. Oh.
Good one.
Oh. Yeah, see that.
Good
that
one, love.
just ruins my image of what this guy should be.
Yes, but it goes very well with his original name of Bowman or Bowman or whatever.
Bowman.
At this point, I'm not even sure he knows.
Look, his middle name used to be Donald.
They had it changed at Ellis Island from Cushionstupper.
Ah, okay. Makes sense. It does make sense. And unfortunately, you say that, and I hear your auntie in Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah. Oh. She did a pretty good sort of. I was German. That was a German accent in that.
I know.
She did a great. I mean, it wasn't good. It really, it was a great, bad German accent. I'm so tired. With their coming, and they're going, and they're going, and they're coming.
Yes.
Tired, so tired.
I have always loved that song.
You say that about the Ellis Island bit, and all I can think of is Robin Hood Men in Tights. Men in Tights. You mean you changed it to the train? Yeah, it used to be Shithouse.
Yes, exactly. That is... I know that's not the first place that joke popped up.
Yeah.
I don't know that I remember hearing that joke before that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of where that's where I get that joke structure from, is from Men in Tights. So What else is going on in the news this week? uh,
I don't know. Nelson County's kangaroo has made national news.
yeah, there is that. Oh. That's that son of a German diplomat who got arrested years ago. He went to UVA. He got arrested for, and convicted too, for the murder of his girlfriend's parents. Has been exonerated.
Oh.
Yeah.
That one?
There's DNA evidence now that exonerates him. Or is being exonerated. Turns out it looks like it was the girlfriend who did it.
Oh.
And he took the fall because he thought he had diplomatic immunity, would do 10 years in Germany, and, she would avoid the death penalty here in Virginia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no.
No?
Nope. He got brought back to the States and tried here in Virginia, got life in prison. Thank goodness for DNA evidence, right?
Yeah.
Dang, man. Poor guy.
I'm glad that he's not the one that did it.
I mean, the whole thing is,
But
it's
still.
awful. Although, there's, the whole thing is awful. And the fact that it was the girlfriend and another family member, and the family member who helped her do it was the one who had been abusing her, not her parents, who she claimed had been abusing her.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is not it is ugly, but also with all of this sort of stuff coming out, this German kid is beginning to look a lot more like, dude, you didn't stand a chance, did you? It was stacked against you, you poor innocent little summer child. So yeah, he's... Yeah. Let's see, anything else going on? They're taking out 700 ICE agents from Minnesota, something like that. Some pitifully small number. To try and convince us that they're doing something there, and they're really not. And I repeat, most of the Democratic leadership are a bunch of spineless, re-election seeking politicians. They don't have the testicular fortitude to stand up for what's right and say, no, take all of ICE out of Minnesota. And it's unfortunate because it's not just national. It's also the Democratic leadership in Minnesota is like calling this a win. No, this isn't a win. This is barely enough to mollify you for a few minutes, but it's not a win, and it's not increasing safety. So there's that.
Yeah.
You have more stuff in the Epstein files coming out here and there, of course.
There's now been
That
enough.
reminds me of a terrible one that I heard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. The Melania movie was so bad that they released more Epstein files as a distraction.
I like that one.
The director of Melania is in the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It has been pointed out that perhaps Pam Bondi was one of the girls in the files.
Ooh. That makes sense.
There are some pictures that make it look like she's definitely in with that crowd at a very young age.
That makes some sense.
Apparently, with the latest release of files, there are investigations that are being opened in various other countries into people that have turned up.
Right, like this is having more of an effect on UK politics than it is on American politics.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
There's one guy in UK politics who's turned up in some of the Epstein files, but never in anything compromising, because he didn't get invited to the parties because he's gay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember much more about it than that, but I heard somebody interviewing him and him saying, yeah, I just didn't, I kind of knew they were happening like over there, but I never got invited. I never saw anything because I'm gay. It's like, well, never thought that would be a defense.
I mean, considering the general atmosphere of things there, I do understand that as a defense.
I do too. Like, I get it.
And I can appreciate that, but I also wouldn't expect that as the first thing in second. Nope, not me.
Couldn't have been me. I don't do that with those kinds of people. You're gonna need to clarify several points in that statement. Yeah. So, let's see. There was the Epstein files. What else happened this week?
You've got the abduction of Savannah Guthrie's mother.
Yeah, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And family went to the police and the press. As soon as that happened, I thought, oh, that can't be good.
Mm-hmm.
In the movies, it always seems to work out okay. But, like, I don't know. This does not. That's not good. Like,
yeah.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll pay the ransom. We'll pay the ransom." But we need proof of life. Okay. This was not good. This was a
Yeah.
real ransom, and I'm pretty sure it is a real ransom. You know, if you do, if you're gonna pay the ransom, you don't go to the authorities. You don't go public. Because the authorities are gonna try and make you, well, because if you pay the ransom, you're aiding and abetting, essentially.
Right.
Like, if you do the thing that is the best to do for the safety of the person, of your loved one, you're then breaking the law.
Yeah.
So if somebody in your family is ransomed, I'm not gonna say, oh, it's best to do this or that, but what I will say is it's pretty much a binary choice. You don't get to do a little of A and a little of B. You either get to do A or B. It's quantized.
Mhm.
That's what I mean. Not binary, but quantized. There's no in-between state. And that's I
fun.
think... Huh?
That's the fun part about my family. Someone gets kidnapped, we wait for them to pay us to take them back.
Right? I have no idea what my family would do.
I'm not paying your parents to return you. You're stuck with me.
I have no idea what my family would do. I know what some of my friends would do.
Yes.
My friends are so broke that if I was ever taken for ransom, they'd raise awareness. That is, if they could even afford to pay attention.
No, I'm so poor I have to put that on layaway.
I like to believe that I'd like to believe that my friends would find me and avenge my death, because inevitably if somebody's going to try and take me prisoner for ransom, they're going to have to ransom a dead body. I will fight back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, though, I doubt I would ever be taken for ransom, because there just ain't enough money to make it worth it. Like, my family, my friends, ain't nobody got enough money to make it worth it. Also, if somebody takes me for ransom and then returns me, like they get paid and return me, I'm gonna start dedicating myself to finding them. I'm gonna find them and find a way to torture them psychologically. I will not let this stand. No, no, no. And it is very hard to show off psychological scars.
This is true.
So taking me just wouldn't be worth it in the long run.
No.
No matter how much money you manage to squeeze out of, it's just not worth it. Also, you know, taking me after a day or two, when my medication starts wearing off and I start like having to start going through the through the process of the anxiety setting back in, you don't want to be around me. I am not fun to be around in those moments. Like, no. I am not gonna hazard a guess as to whether they'll find her and in what condition. Because I don't want to be ghoulish, any more ghoulish
No.
about it than I've already been. I have
Yeah.
my sneaking suspicions,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not good.
You and me both.
Um,
Well, sounds like those suspicions ain't really sneaking.
no. Plus, she's 85. Dude, do you know? It's pretty easy to get something wrong with an 85-year-old and to lose an 85-year-old. I'm just saying. So, like, yeah. Let's see, what else has been going on?
Oh. Trying to think, because I had a small list of things, and then I fell asleep before I could actually put them in the chat, like I meant to the other night.
Oh, well. Melania movie is bad.
Oh, I have a fun thing.
What's that?
All right, so there's a YouTuber that made his own movie and pushed to get it into theaters.
Okay.
And its opening weekend, it did better than the Melania movie.
What YouTuber?
Markiplier.
Markiplier.
The movie's Iron Lung horror movie.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
The movie is Iron Lung. It's a horror movie based on a video game.
Iron Lung, the Markiplier horror movie. Of course, it did better than Melania.
It also
More
did better
people
than
like Markiplier than like Melania.
It also did better than the YouTube Hulu horror movie.
Okay.
Not YouTube. Disney Hulu horror movie.
What horror movie was that?
I had that one pulled up a moment ago.
So, I feel like I gotta see this Markiplier movie because it's hard for me to picture Markiplier actually acting. He's a high energy guy. He does a great job of being engaging. He's charismatic. He's fun. But he's very him. And he's very always directly into the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Which I suppose you guys could see me as being that way, sort of. Because right now I engage very much with the cameras and not with the... But I don't... There's just something in the Markiplier brand that I just have a hard time picturing him not being that.
Send help.
Send help. Okay.
Send help.
No.
Yeah, no. So anyway, you've got an extremely independently made film that beat out on its opening weekend not just the horrible Melania movie, but also something that was done by a larger studio.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, we can't deny that Markiplier, while this is an independent movie, Markiplier he's not just out of nowhere. He's one of the biggest YouTubers. He has done a lot of work producing stuff that isn't just gameplay or reaction content. He's done a lot of other content as well.
Yes.
And he's done several writing projects where he's written, I think a video game was one of the first things he wrote. But he's done various writing projects where he's worked up to doing a movie. So it's not, this is not a case of some independent savant coming out of nowhere. This is a case of a hardworking, talented person who's been doing this for a very long time, working their way up to making an independent movie. Yeah. It's not quite on the level of like when Kevin Smith did Clerks.
Right.
Yeah, it's closer to Kevin Smith does Mallrats, where he'd built up some background by that point. Sure. No, I mean,
but in the age of everything getting scooped up and produced by either Netflix, Amazon, Disney,
right,
or whatever,
and surprising that YouTube didn't do more with it, like try and get their name on it more, produce it somehow, something like that.
YouTube might have tried, and he might have told them no.
That's possible.
But however, its opening weekend, it made him 7 times what he spent making it.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's awesome. Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, his old partner, both seem like pretty good, decent people. Which is better than oh god, what's his name from Film Theory, Game Theory? Matt Pat. Matt Pat's centrist views and sometimes inappropriate humor about transgender people lost me. It was like, okay, you're still making fun of us. You're still making fun of the non-binaries. You're still making fun of, like, and in a way that's not okay. Like, and his apology felt very tepid. It didn't feel, and I just, that'll lose me for a creator. That
is fair.
Yeah. Here's an idea. Tell me what you think. So,
not much.
Okay. In computer terms, binary is how most systems run, or all systems run currently, ones and zeros. There is the proposed system that everybody keeps on talking about, the way of the future, supposedly coming soon, always on the horizon. Governments are spending billions of dollars towards it. Quantum computing.
I mean, they're getting closer.
I propose is no longer non-binaries, it's quantums.
Nope. And I'll tell you why. Because quantum implies discrete states. And people who are non-binary are spectral, not quantum. Now, some may be quantum and may find themselves in a discrete state at a given time. But the spectrum of gender doesn't actually exist in discrete states. The spectrum of sex does. Because your body is going to be what it is in that moment that you look at it. It's like, okay, I've got top surgery but no bottom surgery. I'm in this discrete state of in between male and female. But gender does not have that discrete state. You can feel, I do occasionally, more than occasionally, feel like I am more than one place on that spectrum. So I propose instead of quantums, we call us spectrals. Ooh.
If we're doing that, does that mean I get a spectrograph?
Just don't point it at me. I don't like being graphed without consent.
Look, you said a word and I had a connection for the word. You're stuck with it.
No, that would be it. That's what the new version of gaydar is. It's a spectrograph.
I will have to tell that one to my little sister. Growing up,
Well, okay,
when she was between... Huh?
Does your little sister understand physics enough to understand the difference between quantum and spectrum?
I mean, she's a psychiatric nurse. She understands at least a little bit.
Psychiatric nurse has nothing to do with quantum physics.
Yeah, but
I mean,
she has to listen to all the other doctors spout at her, so...
Okay. The key is, the important key difference is to remember discrete state.
Mm-hmm.
And that's quantum.
Okay.
And spectrum is indiscrete.
Fair.
Do you understand what I mean by discrete state and indiscrete state? Should I explain that more?
Probably be a good idea.
Okay.
I'm getting tea, so I'm listening, but I'm muting so the microwave doesn't bother while you're explaining.
All right. I've got a way to explain. Give me just a second. We have here a coin. It is a one more game or go to sleep coin. When we flip this coin, and it lands, and we count it. Each time it lands, it's going to land in a discrete state. It is either time to go to sleep or time to flip, or time to play one more game. Those are our only two options. There is no option that isn't one or the other of those. Although we could say there is possibly a third option, it could land on the very edge and sit up. Okay, we have a third option. Third discrete state. Now, when it is in the air, flipping around at, let's, instead of taking it at a single moment in time, take a chunk of time, a portion of a second, where it's going to be in all three discrete states during that portion of time. That is closer to a spectrum. But if you really want to think about what a spectrum is going to be, it is, think about what you see when you see the light spectrum. When you see that representation of the light spectrum. It's generally a rainbow that fades into its, from one color to another, it fades across. There's no point at which you can go, okay, that is discretely, this chunk here. Well, no, you can go, this chunk here is discretely yellow, but you can't point out where the distinct line between yellow and green are, or yellow and the next color. There's no demarc. That line is not solidly, you can't go, oh, there's where it switches. So that sort of color gradation, that gradation where you can't point directly to a boundary. Hey, Chris. Thanks for being here. No worries, no worries. I am currently describing the difference between quanta and spectra. Because gender is a spectra and sex is quantum. So, a discrete state or a quantum is something that has boundaries, where you can say, there is the boundary. And there is the boundary. There it is. Either go to sleep, one more game, and we know that it's not the third possible sort of fuzzy state of up on its edge. It is in a discrete state. When it lands on my hand and says go to sleep, because that's what we flipped, we have that discrete state. Now, in quantum, now this is the part where trying to describe, where you don't need the information to describe non-binary people as spectra or spectrals. But in quantum physics, the quanta that they are referring to are the energy levels of the electron shells. Generally, the energy levels of the electron shells at the outside of at the last shell in an atom. The other quantity that they're quantaing for quantum physics is a photon, is a single packet of light. And when an electron jumps up or down that step, because it's a step. It's not a hill. It's distinctly a step. When that electron jumps up or down that step of that energy level in that shell, it either sucks up a specific number of quanta of light, aka photons, or spits out a certain number of quanta of light, photons. You can't get a half a photon. You can't get a portion of a photon.
So that would be a photon?
Right.
Unlike, 2/3 of a green M&M.
Exactly. So that is what they mean when they are talking about quantum physics. They're talking about the discrete energy states or behaviors of indivisible particles, elementary particles. And we're currently down to the indivisible particles are the
Rather quirky.
Yep, quarks, thank you. The quarks and the
They have a bar.
gluons and yeah, they do. The quarks, gluons, neutrinos, those particles are the ones that are currently the elementary particles. I don't know if I think that they're going to find something smaller, more elementary than that. It would not surprise me if we find out that something like, if what we find out is that there is a more elementary particle, and that more elementary particle can either make up that bosonic material that we're familiar with, such as the neutrinos and or can make gravitons, but one bit of that particle can't be used in both. Once it's used for one, it will always be that. Although I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if. And that brings up something I saw this week. They are getting closer to possibly having a feasible experiment that could observe the effects of an interaction with gravitons. They may be able to find a way to indirectly measure gravitons, which means we may find out that gravitons exist and that gravity is actually a force.
Not a farce.
Not a farce. I don't think we will. I don't think we will find the graviton. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying I think that this is going to be one of the things that nature is going to continually hide from us.
Mhm.
I think because, well, I don't know. I think because it's such a small particle, it'll be impossible to see, to find. Because we fundamentally can't look below the Planck length, physics won't allow it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm pretty sure the graviton is fundamentally smaller than the Planck length. I would have guessed originally that the graviton moves faster than light. One reason why we'll never find it. But no, I don't think it actually does. Well, that's not true. I could see a possibility. If it moves at twice the speed of light, we would witness it moving at the speed of light.
Okay.
I also think it would have to be a massless particle. Because if it had any mass, it would create gravity. So being a massless particle, it can move at the speed of light. I'm going to go possibly faster. We know it moves at the speed of light because we know we witness it moving at the speed of light because gravitational waves move at the speed of light, or we witness that movement as co-equal.
Okay.
So that's my take on gravitons.
Really heavy subject here.
Huh?
Really heavy subject here.
Right? Well, that's a deep subject.
Not around here. They're kind of shallow.
Well, okay, so was that, Kat, was that a good enough description of quanta versus spectra for you to be able to tell your sister?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Were those examples good enough to explain to normal people? The example of a coin flipping being discrete states versus blended color.
I think so.
Sorry, phone alarm.
Oh, that's okay. I'm guessing the rest of it was a little more in the weeds, as they say, than your sister ever needs to know about quantum physics. Although it is important to know what they mean when they're talking about quantum, quantum this or quantum that. And honestly, technically, binary computing is still quantum computing. It's discrete states. It's just that there are only two discrete states in binary computing.
Mm.
A lot of what people want to be able to take advantage of in quantum computing, and I don't think they will be able to, is the idea of superposition.
Yeah.
And that is while the coin is in the air. That's not what you're going to be able to take advantage of with quantum computing.
Although it may get fast enough to where it, at least on the surface, appears that that's what you're doing.
Right. What you are doing with quantum computing is using the measurements of the qualities of a quantum of energy. You're measuring things like its spin, its charge, and whether it's there or not. Not the, you're not using the whole probability curve to compute. You're just getting 3 pieces of information where you would have had 1. It's like, if you get a yes, it's there, then you get another 2 questions that each get answered that give you, and it gives you this closer to fuzzy logic. Now you don't just have 1 and 0, you have 1, 0, 2 and 3. And 2 and 3 are each a 1 and 0 thing. 1 or 0 thing. So you have your initial 1 and 0, then you've got another 2 options, and then another 2 options tied into that as well. So it's not... Quantum computing increases the amount of information you can get per bit, which increases the amount of the speed at which you can transfer information, retrieve information, translate information, do all of these things. But it doesn't fundamentally change the rules of computing.
Like I said, they may not be able to actually take advantage of what they think they can, but it will speed up to the point where, with human perception, it appears that they are.
Right. I do think that
computing would be great with quantum computing because they do it all for the bit.
The other thing that quantum computing will do is there are security and encryption uses there, because pardon me, I don't know if people know this, but there is a quality of elementary particles where they can become entangled with each other. If two of the same particle interact, and I don't know if it's if they interact or interact in a specific way, but I think it's if they interact, they become entangled. And they will have at least one property I know will always be opposite. Particle A, and that's spin, by the way. That one property that I'm sure of will always be opposite is spin. So if you have two particles, and the particles' spins are constantly flipping, you only know a particle's spin if you stop it and look. And then it's this one way. Or I guess you can polarize them by sending them through a polarization filter, as happens with light. Although I'm not entirely sure about that, so don't quote me on that. But, these spins are constantly flipping around, and and then these two particles become entangled. And all of a sudden, their spins are now dependent on each other after entanglement. Once they part ways, if this one's spin down, this one will be spin up. And when they flip, it's always the same. And so at any point when you stop this particle and look, you know what this particle's going to be. And this is where Einstein started having a real problem with quantum physics. He could not justify this faster than light transfer of information, or as he called it, spooky action at a distance. That's what spooky action at a distance is, by the way. It's not gravity. It's entangled particles. He really could not. He felt like there must be something not right here. And it feels like, okay, it could be super deterministic. Once they interact and get their spins all entangled and then fly off from each other, they're just both flipping on the same frequency. So at that point, of course, when this one's down, this one's up, and because they're flipping on the frequency. But I do believe something has been done to test that. Such as putting through polarization filter. And it was effective. Now, even if the information travels faster than light, it is still not usable at faster than the speed of light. There's no way you can apply. There's no way you can apply this that won't at least land you at the speed of light. You can never transfer information faster than the speed of light.
Okay.
That's why it's called the speed limit of the universe. Now, it's entirely possible you can transfer information faster than the speed of light, and that there's some mechanism by which the universe is like, but you can't use it. Can't use it yet, can't use it yet, can't use it yet. Oh, now you can. So there is like the possibility of true faster than light movement exists still, but it will never be applicable. You can't truly can't truly use that to apply it to anything. At best, it may always be a mathematical quirk.
At least until someone figures out how to start folding things to make it actually functional.
You say that, but then you start moving into Alcubierre warp drive area, and that is not actually truly FTL travel. You're never moving faster than light. You are parting the universe around you faster than the speed of light. But you are never actually...
Human perception is what it all ends up coming down to.
Yes and no, though. See, this is the thing, right? If we could travel faster than light, like truly travel faster than light, and be able to use information that we might be able to see smaller than the Planck length. It's not, I mean, applicably, when applied, yeah, it's perception, sure. You know, sure, we get there fast enough that, you know, civilizations haven't formed, rose to prominence, and then ate themselves and died in the time it took us to get there.
Right.
But in the sense of cracking open the universe and understanding it better, we won't have done it. Also, I will say that the Alcubierre warp drive theory is probably the only, I mean, other than like a subspace sort of thing. But the warp drive is probably the only way we can travel faster than light safely.
Which is fair.
It's that Alcubierre warp bubble. And the fact that the people inside the warp bubble aren't actually moving at the speed of light. That means that everything inside that warp bubble isn't being torn apart atom by atom.
Which, you know, that's an entirely fair thing to be.
Yeah. That's why Alcubierre warp drive is going to be probably our best bet for FTL. And I do believe we can figure it out at some point. There is some real hand-wavy stuff in the theory. For a published physics theory, there is some real, like... And then we use unobtainium. Like... Okay, you guys are real scientists. Try and come up with something. But...
Otherwise, yes.
Otherwise, it's... The theory is sound. The theory is good. It's the sort of... It's those in-between hand-wavy steps that we haven't figured out yet.
Yeah.
So.
Alright. Leapfrogging off of this. add on to one of the excuse me, one of the stories that I finally remembered from last week that I had pulled up. I put it in chat for you.
All right. Finland achieves breakthrough in wireless electricity transmission.
Now, my first thought on seeing that is all of the shows, specifically on the Sci-Fi Channel, but on other channels that I've seen throughout the years, going, oh, Tesla was here.
Yeah. I mean, this is Tesla. Nikola Tesla had this idea.
Yes.
Um,
Did you?
Did I?
I'm trying to remember which show it was specifically. I don't think it was Librarians. I think it was maybe like Warehouse 13. There was one along those lines where specifically they found an abandoned town and then they touched one of these weird orb things and figured out after their person vanished what had happened, which was that the town was using wireless electricity transmission, and because they were within the path of it, the light was deflecting around them and making them diffused so that the town appeared abandoned. And once they turned off the power, everybody came back. They were not happy with this.
Okay.
You say orb, and all I can think of is Briscoe County.
Yeah, actually, that sounds like a Briscoe
Years
County.
after.
That does sound like a Briscoe County Junior episode.
It does. It does. Like I said,
I also feel like I saw it in an episode of Enterprise. I don't know.
maybe
All right.
it's a reoccurring theme.
Finland achieves breakthrough in wireless electricity transmission without physical cables. Finland has recorded a major technological breakthrough after successfully transmitting electric power through the air without the use of physical wires. A development that could redefine how electricity is generated, distributed, and consumed worldwide. The achievement places the Nordic nation at the forefront of next-generation energy innovation and has sparked global interest across scientific and industrial communities. According to researchers involved in the project, the wireless power transmission was achieved using advanced electromagnetic field technology that allows electricity to be sent from a power source to a receiving device through open space without direct cable connections. The demonstration showed stable and efficient energy transfer over a controlled distance, proving that power can be delivered safely through the air under real-world conditions. Scientists explain that the technology works by converting electrical energy into electromagnetic waves, which are then transmitted and captured by a receiver designed to convert the waves back into usable electricity. Unlike traditional wired systems, this approach reduces infrastructure costs, eliminates cable-related losses, and opens new possibilities for power, remote locations, and smart environments. Energy experts say the innovation could transform sectors such as renewable energy, electric mobility, healthcare, and consumer electronics. Wireless electricity transmission could make it possible to power electrical vehicles while in motion, supply energy to hard-to-reach rural communities, and support medical implants or sensors without batteries or invasive wiring. Yep.
Yep.
I mean, that is all pretty neat. I do feel like, yes, we've known about this for a while. We've known that you can safely move electricity through the air for a while. It's not like we don't already do move a lot of other forms of electromagnetic energy through the air. And by forms, I really just mean frequencies.
Yes.
It's all the same stuff. It's just at what frequency it's going out. Microwaves are the same as it's the same basic stuff, elementary particles, as a magnet, as those fields around a bar magnet. It's the same thing. Electricity is the same as a magnetic pull. Jesus, that's hard for me to get to, but electricity is the same thing as a radio signal. It's the same thing as your cell phone signal, or Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just vibrations in the same basic stuff. Electromagnetic field. It's all electrons jiggling. It's all electrons and it's all electrons moving around. Positrons barely exist. What we think of as positively charged electricity is really just a hole in the flow of electrons. The only thing that is not that is light.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean the only thing in existence, but the only... And technically, light makes up that. Photons make up electrons, I think. I think it is... I don't know. I think it may just be a pair of electrons make up a photon, or a pair of photons make up an electron or something. It's not... There isn't a different elementary particle for them. But the heat you get from solar radiation is just photons releasing their energy to you. It is... Yeah, no, I think electrons and photons... I think electrons are made up of photons. So it's all the same. So we do have wireless transmission of electricity with light and photovoltaic cells. It's not like we haven't done this yet. It's just that they've got a new way of doing it.
The difference is the loss amount.
Yes, they've got a new, more efficient way of doing it, and it's not even that new. Nikola Tesla apparently had this idea, but what's his name?
Edison?
Thank you. But Edison successfully plied.
Buried it.
Huh?
He successfully buried it and implied that it would be extremely dangerous.
I was gonna say he successfully applied um, the the principles of consumer capitalism.
I was going to say, he
Fair.
successfully utilized a super particle known as cash.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the one. Super particle known as cash. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's, again, this is an older technology. It's just that it got put off because of all that. So yeah, that's it is we have been trained to think of these structures in a specific way because it is very advantageous to certain people for us to not question it. Electricity that's not in a shielded cable is dangerous. No, not necessarily. I mean, the microwave radiation that's coming out of your cell tower is the same as electricity. It's just a different frequency. And yeah, these principles of competition burying were applied to this otherwise much greener and safer and honestly better technology. Hey, head not on right. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. We were just so you missed the unfortunately you missed the quantum physics discussion.
Portion of the show.
Lecture is the word I'm looking for there. You missed the quantum physics lecture, which led us into an article about what country? Norway?
Finland.
Finland. Breakthrough in wireless electricity transmission. And so now I'm crapping on Edison and
The super particle known as cash that he used to bury it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Putting a magnet next to a coiled copper wire causes an electrical current. It's called induction. We can make electricity travel that way. I mean, come on. Of course we can do it without laying wires under the ground. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious as to how they're going to find a way to charge us for it. Because once they can charge us for it, then we'll start adopting that technology.
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism, eh?
Yeah.
You know, it can't be good electricity if it's free of charge.
Right. Oh, man, that hurt. Oh, that hurt.
You're welcome.
I really like that. I really like that one. Can't be free of electricity. Or
Can't be good electricity if it's free of
it's
charge.
free of charge. Can't be good electricity if it's free of charge.
Yeah.
It's not ironic, it's ionic.
Ow.
Good response.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, all right. I think we're actually getting close to done here. Anything else in the news we want to talk about this week? Anything we think's going to be on the show tomorrow that we haven't talked about yet?
They might mention, what's his name? Because we lost him right after we lost O'Hara. Carl Weathers.
We lost Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer.
So they might talk about him.
Okay.
Let's see. They might talk about the really crummy job that they did with the redaction on the files with this last round of releases.
Oh, did they do another bad redaction job?
The most recent one, they left names and certain pictures unredacted.
Okay.
For the
Which is
victim.
part of
Not the,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember hearing about the victims' information
Yep.
being released there.
Spanberger might be on there. Because she did her governor. What is that?
Address.
No, her version of the presidential order, but the governor order.
Oh, the executive order.
Yes.
Governor, yeah.
She did that directing police in Virginia to stop cooperating with ICE.
That might be on there.
The only way that they're supposed to be cooperating with them in any way is to make sure that the public is safe effectively, but they're not supposed to be acting as ICE officials and helping them.
Right. Okay.
You might have the place out in Cumberland, because ICE was planning on buying a chunk of property out in Cumberland County and building their own detention center. And the Canadian company that owns it said no.
Yeah, and everybody in Cumberland was also really against it.
Oh, yeah, they were definitely against it. But, the final straw was definitely the Canadian company coming in and going, no.
Nah.
The Walk for Peace, the monks have made it.
Oh, yeah.
They made it, I want to say they've made it as far as Richmond.
Okay.
So that might be covered, because they're getting close to their destination now.
Maybe, but I don't I don't think that's gaining the national spotlight like we think it should necessarily. I don't.
It may not, but this is also NPR, so.
It is. I haven't heard it mentioned on NPR.
Where I first heard it mentioned.
Huh?
That's why
where
I
you
first heard it mentioned.
Huh.
And we even listen to the same station.
I know.
Simple, you guys are listening at different times. That's all it is. Let me think.
I mean, I'm listening most of the time, so it's possible that it was just on in one of those brief moments that I was not listening, was away from a radio.
Very, very possible. What else? I can't think of anything else.
All right.
Oh, they may be talking more about in anticipation of tomorrow's game.
Oh yeah, tomorrow is the American Olympics. Oh,
Yes.
that's okay. Here's the other thing.
What?
American Olympics.
With Bad Bunny
I'm
as
sorry,
the halftime
I'm sorry.
show.
The Super Bowl. So apparently Turning Point USA is throwing
Yes.
their own halftime show.
Yes.
Headlined by Kid Rock.
Yeah.
And I believe that's all I have to say about that. It's like, oh yeah, that's happening.
If I'm not mistaken, last I heard, I mean, I only caught a glimpse of the article, but it seemed that a number of the artists that were involved have been pulling out.
Yep.
I am not surprised. Meanwhile, Bad Bunny is going to be headlining the actual halftime show. And that should be pretty awesome.
Yeah, and who's the
Opening act?
the opening act?
Green Day.
Oh, heck yeah. All right.
As I thought from the state, it seems like the NFL is trolling the administration with those two options.
I feel like maybe. It does feel like a bit of a trolling sort of thing there. That's, yeah, all right. I never thought hard about it, but always would have been highly surprised if Green Day hadn't been vocal about this. Hadn't been some sort of, anti-fascist vocal. Because they were from the old school of punk. Even though they were that start of the new wave of pop punk that really sort of ended up in emo, and they were from the old school of punk, where punk was by its nature political, by its nature anti-fascist, by its nature anti-capitalist. They were from that time. So I'm not at all surprised that is something that they've brought forward with them.
And how?
And how?
I mean, they have deliberately retooled one of their songs.
American Idiot?
Yeah.
Or did that even need retooling? Was that just good enough? As it was to be like, hey, look at those American idiots.
No, they specifically retooled it to say maggot.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I feel like we have exhausted ourselves, if not the topics, for the day. So I think it's time for us to get out of here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Head Not On Right. Thank you, Chris in the 386. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Much love to all you lurkers. And stick around for the raid. And now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. I'm out, y'all.
Responsibility or your constitutional responsibility to say what you know if you feel information has been covered up. And I know you can't speak for Mueller, but maybe you have a sense of what his options would be. In the sense that I think there are people who are concerned that if the president tries to stop the investigation, what happens to all of the information that has been compiled?
Yeah, that's a good question and hard to answer in the abstract. Maybe I'll give you 2 answers. First, about Bob Mueller. Robert Mueller is an institutionalist who cares deeply about the institution, the rule of law, and the values at the heart of the Justice Department. And so he will do whatever he can within the law to make sure that those values are protected. Second, I don't see firing Rod Rosenstein or Robert Mueller, frankly, as effective. If the president's goal is to shut down an investigation, he would literally have to fire everyone in the Department of Justice and the FBI to accomplish that, and that's impossible because someone will replace those people and some agents will continue to work. And the good news for people about the institutions of the Department of Justice and the FBI is that they are ballast. They are incredibly difficult to change. And that's frustrating when you're a leader trying to change some aspect of the culture, but it's reassuring today. Those people do not care about partisan politics. And if 7 people are fired, the 8th person will pick up the shield and march on and do the job. So we literally have to fire everyone in those organizations to accomplish his goal.
But my understanding is that the acting director overseeing the investigation can take the final report and basically put it in his drawer and leave it there.
I guess in theory, I would think that would be very, very hard in practice, given the institutional interests of Congress, even though they've been slow to awaken. I know people in Congress on both sides of the aisle care deeply about finding the truth. And so I think in theory, but it'd be very difficult in practice.
So President Trump has tweeted many times about you. He accused you of leaking classified information for which you should be prosecuted. On Sunday,